Well, hiya, BookTube. Bill Ruttenberg here with the Ruttenberg Library. I wanted to come to you today with a book chat, and I wanted to talk to you about a book by Philip R. Craig. It's a mystery. It's one of the Martha's Vineyard mystery books. So it's called Murder at a Vineyard Mansion. And so I got this from the public library. We had recently, just to tell you how I even got on this. First of all, my wife and I and my daughter, that we like to watch the Hallmark Mystery Channel, mystery movies, and they got several different series on there, and this is one of the series that we like. Some of them we don't like, but this is one of them that we like, the Martha's Vineyard ones. My wife absolutely loves, probably likes it more just for the scenery. She loves the beach and the ocean and the sailboats and lighthouses, all that kind of stuff. I actually like the mystery side of it. It's it's fun to sit there on the couch and you're halfway through the movie and you're doing the guesswork and trying to put the pieces of the puzzle together, and that one did it, that one didn't do it, and my wife and I did really well the other night when we were watching one, and it was actually they actually had two people, and I picked one and she picked the other, and so we both nailed the murder mystery. But anyway, as I said, this is Murder at a Vineyard Mansion, one of the Martha's Vineyard mystery books. Philip R. Craig wrote several of these books. I don't know the total number, but there are several, and our local public library actually has 4 of them. 3 of them, when we went to the library the other day, I think it was Saturday we went, I picked up 3 of the 4 because they didn't have the 4th one in. So I picked up 3 of the 4, and just took me, I could have read this in probably one long afternoon. I'm kind of a slow reader. They're all about the same, about 250 pages or so, but they read really fast. They read just like the movies on Hallmark for the most part. So anyway, tell you a little bit about the story. So on the island here, we start with, you see this house here, we start with, there's some people that are developing houses on the island, and there are some people who are environmentalist types who don't like the development that's starting to happen. And it's always kind of funny because a lot of the environmentalists that they talk about in the book, they are actually rich characters, and it's more a sense of jealousy that you're building a house that's bigger than mine, and so they're using, maybe the environmentalist theme a little bit too much. But anyway, starts with a murder. They the main character, J.W. Jackson, sitting out on a boat one evening, and him and his family are heading for shore, heading home, and his daughter happens to look over, and silhouetted in the moonlight is a body that falls off the cliff. And so that kind of starts the whole story. His daughter actually sees it, and he didn't know if she was just seeing things or what. And so JW gets to looking in the paper, and he finds out that somebody has died, and they fell off the cliff. And as always, there's always a little bit more to the story. And as he gets to investigating, and he gets to talking to the police, because J.W. Jackson is a former policeman, he's friends with the police department, and he gets to working through the case, and he's talking to the police, and actually this guy was killed before he went over the cliff. And so J.W. Jackson is approached by a mother of one of the families here. The mother approaches him and says, "I need your help." And he doesn't really like her because she's not your friendliest person. And but anyway, he gets to listening to her story and decides to help. And her story was her son's going to get framed for that murder, but she won't tell why. And so as we get to going, we learn that her son, if you look in the picture there, you see all the broken windows. Her son was responsible for this. He went and broke out a whole bunch of windows, and when J.W. Jackson goes to the son to talk to him and question him so that he could maybe put up a defense case for her son, so he's actually looking for the real killer, and in the process he would make sure that the son is not found guilty. So anyway, he admits to throwing the rocks through the windows and all of that, but he won't tell, he won't tell why. And he won't tell, J.W. Jackson eventually, pretty quickly figures out that there was a second person involved. They won't give him up. But anyway, the son, a chapter or two later, ends up dead. And so now the mystery, gets a little bit bigger. And so now J.W. Jackson's trying to figure out who the murder for both of these are. And so now he's just it's almost out of a he told the mother that he would do it, and now he's doing it to hold, to keep his word. And so anyway, throughout the story, there's also another one going through about a crime of destroying stereos, loud music, young people music. And so they call this guy the silencer. And so he silences all of the music. And it's kind of it's actually a funny storyline that runs through the whole book. And J.W. Jackson, he sees it, he kind of laughs about it, but he doesn't think much about it. And then throughout the story, he starts to actually piece a few things together while he's trying to piece together these murders. And so I'm not going to tell you about the end because I don't want to spoil it. I would recommend you to go read these. As Steve Donahue has pointed out, these are Philip Craig's mysteries are a lot of fun, and they keep you guessing. I guess the killer probably, I don't know, is 2/3 of the way through the book. I figured it out. And so, simpleton like me, you'll be able to figure it out, but they will keep you guessing. But another fun part of this book was listening to him talk about there's several rich families that live on Martha's Vineyard, and they have all got their issues. And, they've basically got too much money is what it almost comes down to. But you've got a lot of people who have married, divorced, and you've got a lot of husbands and wives who are having extramarital affairs. And so in the whole process, these rich families have all crossed each other at one time or another, and you've got this giant spider web of who's married to whose kids are whose, and you got people who've been married 3 different times. They've got maybe several kids, one with each of the partners, and then maybe even some extramarital ones. And then some people who got married who are already pregnant, but the husband that they married didn't know it. And so you get a lot of families that are all mixed up. It's a giant spider web. And I think maybe the hardest part of this book was actually keeping all the families straight. He names off and lists a whole bunch of families and a whole bunch of connections, but that's also part of the fun of it. And so I don't want to say it's necessarily a negative thing. It's just, for my simpleton brain, I got confused. It'll be a reread someday down the line. And I really like this book. I would probably give it I'd give it, I'm not real big in the mystery genre, so I'm kind of new to the genre as far as adult mysteries. And so I'm going to give it a 4. Again, not basing it on any other mysteries and any other previous knowledge, but I did thoroughly enjoy reading it, and I look forward to the other 2 Martha's Vineyard murder mysteries that I've got by Philip Craig. So BookTube, I hope this maybe gets you wanting to pick up the book and just go out and read. It's a good one. I would recommend it. So till next time, BookTube, thank you for watching, and happy reading.